Hey friends, it's Michelle. Thank you so much for joining. This is just a quick video about some of the new Louis Vuitton styles, that you can actually find on the vintage pre-loved market and save you a ton of money. So every designer is known to go into the vault and redo some styles and say, hey, this is new. Just kidding. But they tend to kind of recycle and revamp through old styles. So what we're seeing now, just in fashion across the board, is the comeback of Y2K. And so some of the bags that I'm seeing in Vuitton that are new, I have seen before. If you're young and you're just starting your luxury journey, let me just tell you, we've seen these before. So the first one is the Saumur, and the Saumur BB is out right now for $2,030. The dimensions of her are 7.6 by 6.3 by 3 inches wide. So she's a smaller version of the old Saumur, which you can find on Fashion File or The Real Real, and I will have all the links below for where you can find these bags. So I can understand why someone wants a cute baby version of this Saumur. I think the Saumur was like a great bag of its time. And even if you look at it, if you're a new mommy, this would also make a pretty good diaper bag. So she comes in canvas, and she also comes in what's called the mini lin, which is like a more of a canvas material but uncoated. So I think she's a cute option. This is from the Marc Jacobs era. You can see there are different sizes. The smallest one is the GM. The dimensions are 9.5 by 12 inches wide and 3.75 inches in width. So that would be the closest to the BB. And then there are two other sizes that get bigger, the 30 and the 35. So you can see you can have an assortment, but look at the prices, more than half of the savings. So some things to know when you're buying a vintage bag. Now, if you buy it from someone like the Fashion File or the Real Real, there is a return window in case it is not as described or you find that you don't like it. So that is a perk, because it's hard to examine these bags just through internet photos. Some things to note is that you can replace any part of the leather as long as the canvas is in good condition and no rips or tears. If there's any rips or tears in the canvas, it is not fixable. The repair service center at Vuitton does not want to take the bag apart because it might rip even more. For that reason, they do reject anything with torn canvas. Yes, I know some people say, oh, this shouldn't happen. Why won't they repair the canvas? Well, feel free to go to a local cobbler and see if they can patch that up for you, but Vuitton will not do it. Okay, just FYI. And other things is that the Saumur, actually, it has a buckle instead of a magnet. So the newer bags have magnet closure, which makes it so much easier. We know that. So if you don't like the in and out of the buckle and tend to leave it unbuckled, that's one thing to consider. Again, you cannot take this back to the repair center. They will not modify the bag for you. But again, go ahead and find a local cobbler who is good with luxury bags. I have one near me. If you wanted to make this a magnet instead of a buckle, there might be some way to do it. That's just my advice there. When you're buying a vintage bag, you're buying like the character of the bag. Sometimes they have funky odors or smells, so you do have to be careful to find one that the previous owner took really good care of. The next bag that is on my list, it's called the Diane. And look, she looks looks like this. The Diane is $2,370, brand new. She's a total 90s bag. Total 90s girl, Diane. We see you came back here and you squashed your sister, Solonge, but you can still find the sister here. She is on Fashion File for $1,130. I want to say that's a great deal. However, just a few years ago, most pre-loved Vuitton bags were around $700 and under. So the prices of the pre-loved have really gone up from what they used to be. However, if this is the bag you're desiring, now same thing, the old version has a buckle, the new version has a magnet. So I would say, if you really want to, find ways to modify it, but Vuitton will not do it for you. Another thing about the newer bags is often they have a detachable shoulder strap, whereas the vintage ones do not. However, the advantage of buying vintage, and you might have experienced this, the canvas, to me, on vintage bags seems so much thicker. so much sturdier. The stitching and everything on a vintage bag is just different. Better made, different quality materials, a little more attention to detail. That's just my personal feeling. Plus, you're saving thousands of dollars. Now, last on my list is the Ivy wallet on a chain. She goes for a whopping $1,760 for this little thing. She was not made to replace the favorite, but sure reminds me of the favorite that came in monogram in PM and MM that they dealt away with. Actually, the truth behind the favorite is they did not want to have this entry-level price point for people who just wanted a little VUITTON. No. They want to go for the people who are gonna spend $3,000 and up for a handbag. So they did away with a little entry price point, even though $1,000 is still a lot, okay? I get it, you guys, but this is former client advisor, just telling you the strategies of these luxury houses, okay? So now they're hoping to get you in with this little, if you want this little thing, she's only $1,760. That's a lot of money for a wallet on a chain. But that's what this most reminds me of. So if you search hard enough, you can find plenty of favorites in PM and MM. So it's gone up a lot. And I think too, because of the exclusivity and how many people really do enjoy this bag, hence the favorite. Now, one thing I did not like about the favorite is that the flimsy magnetic closure didn't do much. The bag would always pop open, especially if you overstuffed it. So I always had people asking for like a little bag I can take to an amusement park. This is not it. I would always tell them this is not it. First of all, it was always out of stock, but I would tell them this is not it. You want one with a zipper or at least a very secure closure, because this bag would easily open. People have different feelings on that. Should I buy brand new or should I go vintage? And just like I said, like some people just like the feeling of brand new, like having a brand new car over a used one with the vintage pieces. Now, I wouldn't call the favorite vintage because that was just discontinued a few years ago. But if you check out something like the Solonge or the Saumur, or even my vintage bag, the Saint Cloud, you will see the difference in the quality and the craftsmanship of the bag. And then the challenge is, of course, find one in the best condition possible, which is totally possible. If you wait for the right bag, you'll find the owner who bought a lot of bags, has a lot of money to do so, and didn't use it to death. Then there are the people who use the bag to death and still manage to resell it. Maybe those aren't the ones that you want. Looking for vintage in itself can be like a bit of a treasure hunt. So by the way, even for newer styles that you can find in the store, I know you all know that you can find them on Fashion File and The Real Real. Sometimes people buy stuff and then have buyer's remorse, or they find that they don't actually use the bag at all. So even for pieces that are existing in retail, you might be able to find a deal if you just poke around a bit. But of course, I recommend Fashion File or The Real Real because you can return them. I do not recommend Facebook because there's no way to authenticate those pieces. So I had to add a little to this video. First of all, I was pronouncing Solonge incorrectly. Sorry. Someone's gonna come after me about that. But I had to address this about people coming after me, and I will address it in a longer video, I promise. My channel was shut down. I don't know if any of you noticed. Some of you did, because you did reach out to me. I appreciate it so much. And I've been doing some research on my own of like the process of getting my channel back, and right now 2 videos are down, which in my research, I found that actually any viewer can choose to attack any creator. So he or she's probably watching now. Hi. You show up on every video and say negative comments, and it's not just to me, it's to other handbag creators. These are handbags. It's just handbags. It's not politics. It's so minuscule. It's material things, and we're just here to have fun. But to my loyal audience, I'm not going to give energy to the people who are miserable. I'm not. You need therapy. But to my loyal audience, I just want to give my heartfelt thanks of you guys being there for me. So I really need your help right now. Like, just my humble plea, I never do this. Put on my playlist The channel being down killed my views. 2 of my best videos are down right now. I'm appealing to get those back. But that's how like most easy it is for people to attack you. So if you're watching to this point, please consider putting on my playlist so I get those views up. Send me a super thanks, buy something from my store, or buy something from any of my affiliate links I get the commission for. Having my channel down was like basically being out of work. I appreciate you guys so much, and if you can't do any of those, at least like this video, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Share it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Love you. Bye.